a no regret builds. PandaBearMe, can I believe in you? I want to believe, man. He gave us a cool gold expansion base versus HuShang. I want to see him do it again.
Yeah. So let's see if PandaBearMe can come up with the nicer strategy here to start game one.
Yep. Final series of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure you'll send that link of the twitch.tv/RSLSC2 to your friends. Go tell them to tune in for this final series of the night to find out who is going to be facing off versus Peely in the round of 8. You guys are watching the RSL Team Gravity's Gamja versus PandaBearMe from BrwL Esports. ZVZ Expedition loss. Let's get this game underway. Droopy, take it away with that first player introduction.
All right, first game of the final series of the night here. We do have the yellow Zerg spawning on the upper right-hand side of Expedition Lost LE. Lost the game on this very map last time he faced this player. Second time's a charm, perhaps? We'll see. Playing for BrwL Esports, guys, is PandaBearMe.
And his opponent spawning down in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have the red Zerg player representing Team Gravity. Most likely going to be considered the favorite to win this series, but will he be able to do it? It is Gamja. And Droopy, there is a lot of psychological stuff that goes on with... Oh, extractor trick. Okay, sorry. There's a lot of psychological stuff that goes on when you play in a group stage like this and you lose the first series versus a player, and then you end up having to play against them in the ace match. And you think, okay, I lost. What happened in the first series? You have had a lot of time to think about that and think, what went wrong? What do I need to do differently? And I think different players can handle that differently. Some players, I think, will perform better in the following series. Some players will perform much worse. They'll kind of be a little bit tilted and have that mental block and say, oh, God, I just lost versus this person. Like, what am I going to do differently? And they just don't know. So, I don't know. How do you feel like players are going to be able to handle this?
Well, I wonder, too, if the break that Gamja had may have given him an opportunity to sort of, weigh those ideas in his head. Because, this whole time PandaBearMe's been playing, right? Focusing on just surviving to the next game, and I'm just kind of had a chance here maybe to kind of look back at, those games against PandaBearMe. I don't know. If he wasn't too focused, I guess, on his loss against KellerMaN, but yeah, you have a point. I mean, the player's mental fortitude is a big deal in that regard. And I do feel like also, the more games you play against a player, so like the longer the series, in a sense, this is like an extended series in a lot of ways, and that the later games is when the mind games really happen.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I can definitely see that here, and ZVZ mind games are a huge part of the matchup. But so far, the players are playing very standard here. We are seeing 15 hatches on both ends, just to swap as far as gas first or pull first for either guy.
Yeah, slightly earlier gas geyser for Gamja, but yeah, as you were saying, they are going. Well, actually, I was about to say they are both going to get Zergling speed, but let's remember, PandaBearMe has shown quite a bit of a liking to skipping Zergling speed to cutting that corner.
Yeah,
and I wonder, he never has really been punished for it. He's never been punished for cutting that corner. So,
as far as I think, Gamja tried to do that. I think he tried to do that in game 2,
You think that's what that was? Yeah.
Maybe that is what that was. But he was able to wall. I guess Gamja would have to punish it by, going all in even earlier.
Yeah, I think that this is also an easy map to wall in on. I've seen some fantastic holds. Moose Kills comes to mind, especially on this map. I've seen him hold all kinds of Zergling, Banling attacks on this map with just some really solid wall-ins. And even the backdoor rocks, like, they take so long to knock down. It becomes a really weird thing to try and bust in through there. So I'm not actually a huge fan of, like, a big Speedling, Banling all-in on this map. In fact, looks like Gamja might not feel the same way either. Or might feel the same way, I should say. As he's going for the lair tech, he's throwing down a Baneling Nest and throwing up his gas geysers. This is starting to look a lot like a Mutalist play.
Yeah, super early lair. This is game 3 of last series again, where, you know, game 1, he did go for early Mutalist, but it wasn't this early.
Oh.
Here, he's just like, you know what, I'm just going to go right into Mutas, and we'll just see if game 3 happens again.
Droopy, this is game 3 again. We got single evolution chamber. We got the extra 3 of the 3 gas guys coming down from PandaBearMe. We got the Roach Warren coming down, although Zergling speed, I don't know if PandaBearMe ever got Zergling speed later on in the last games, but he's getting +1 weapon missile attacks, which is a little bit different. He's not going for the BrwL play this time, and I kind of like it. I'm not sure.
Oh, and another critical difference is no lair. He hasn't gone for the early lair, so it's going to be slow roaches here. Slow roach timing on 2 bases with +1. Interesting. Is it going to be fast enough? The 11 roaches are about to pop soon. Spire's just been put down. This might just be a variation of PandaBearMe strategy that's fast enough where the mutas just don't come out in time for Gamja.
This is very, very interesting. Do you take a third behind this? I mean, your lair tech is going to be so unbelievably delayed. No, I actually don't think you do. More and more Zerglings just going to be produced right now. Baneling Nest coming in as the follow-up, and PandaBearMe wants, I think he wants to end this game. He wants to end this game quickly. He wants to punish Gamja for whatever he's trying to do. And Rock's getting knocked down. Even Queens making their way across the map to help deal with those beetles. And Overlord is going to be spotting this. How is Gamja going to respond? 4 spine crawlers going up at the natural expansion.
Yeah, this time he needs those. The Spire is only about to finish now, and we still need to wait.
Those Banelings
too. That's a difference as well.
This is looking sick, but there's so many Banelings being made for Gamja as well. The hits are going to be so important. How are these Banelings going to be trading against each other?
Yeah, because the Roaches being thrown in the mix here makes it a lot trickier.
Oh my god! That's actually great for PandaBearMe. The more of his opponent's Banelings that he gets rid of, the better he's going to be liking this situation. Especially if it's happening in the midst of all the spine crawlers.
Yeah, but also we are seeing Defender's Advantage going to kick in for Gamja. The mutas are spawning now.
Banelings getting... Okay, well, they go after the drones, but none of them end up blowing up on him.
Oh, that's all the Lings dying in that, but sacrificing themselves to save the drones. Now it's just really a few roaches left here in the natural so far, but there are still more reinforcements coming here for PandaBearMe and these speedlings.
Well, a stray queen from PandaBearMe getting the creep advantage, but the Mutalist managed to clean it up. And this didn't work for PandaBearMe. He's going to be too far behind after this. He doesn't have anything to deal with the Mutalist. He doesn't have any spore crawlers back at him. His lair tech is behind. He doesn't have the same gas count. He doesn't have map control. He can't take a third expansion. His creep spread isn't. There's so many things that meant PandaBearMe was all in this. And he doesn't have a transition.
No, and you know what? We're going to see these mutas take full map control here, and it's just, this whole game was a race. It was a complete race. You know, Gamja trying to get mutas as early as possible. PandaBearMe trying to get in his roach timing as early as possible. But the mutas went out because, well, they're in the air, and you can't shoot up, so there will be a forced cancellation on the third.
Yeah. That is nice, just to delay his opponent's third a little bit. God, there's that one creep tumor outside of PandaBearMe's natural expansion. I want to see him send it to the third. If he can get spore crawlers up at the third, maybe he can take it third and somehow balance this out, but it's going to be a rough fight. Droopy, this is going to be a very rough fight, but look at this! Gamja, I wonder if this could work out. So Gamja, I think, is identifying that there is still no third expansion.
Yeah.
And he's saying, well, their only follow-up you could possibly do is just a big follow-up attack. I'm taking my third, so I need to just start spining up my natural. I just need to prepare for this one attack, and I'll have the map control. I'll have the ability to close out the game after that, but I just need to hold on. That is what Gamja feels right now.
And PandaBearMe is content to, stay on 2 base and really turn this all in.
Oh my
up to
God.
1,000, 9,000. Let's just say 9,000 because we're having infestation pit thrown in, the pathogen glands. He wants to start mixing in a nidus worm as well.
Wow. Okay. So I'm a little bit concerned about this because there is this idea in StarCraft that Droopy, I know you're very familiar with. It's the idea of spreading yourself too thin. You have a lot of things that you want to do. You want to get burrow. You want to get more roaches. You want to get infestors. You want to get pathogen glands. You want to get a nidus. I mean, you try and do them all at the exact same time. You do all of them mediocrely instead of doing one of them really, really well. And I'm a little bit afraid that that's going to be the case, but you know, PandaBearMe, it's a better player than I am by a large margin. We're going to see what he can make happen over here.
Overseer now is trying to spot for a worm exit. Ring is chasing it around. And yeah, you know, you make a good point. I mean, when Gamja's ahead on economy, he's only going to get more ahead. The longer it takes for this to materialize for PandaBearMe, the harder it's going to get. But we're going to see this materialize soon with the worm about to pop. Gamja not quite locating where it is, assuming he heard it, heard the warning.
Well, Beetle's flying straight for it, though. But the queens, they're already
fly
out.
over those infestors. Oh, but there's no fungal in time. Oh, drone's being pulled.
Oh my God, he might just fungal the drones. No, not gonna. Okay, he knows where the fungal energy needs to be used. But losing one of those infestors, that's really brutal. Again, he spread himself really thin. He doesn't have many infestors. He only has one infestor with his army now.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Big deal. Those infestors are always basically the X factor in these kinds of situations. And, well, PandaBearMe's gonna have to make his last one count.
Oh my God. You know, Droopy, I didn't consider this, but if the main force for Gamja is Mutalisk, what happens when Gamja brings drones and builds spore crawlers to deal with the Mutalisk inside of his own opponent's main base?
That is a good. Oh, yeah, that is.
What?
That is pretty novel. And the queens can transfuse each other and everything else, and the spores.
And
the spores too.
All of the tech. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's a big fungal there. That's a big fungal there, locking the mutas against the spore. But
he's got to be so careful. There's so many spine crawlers down at that natural expansion. And you have to remember, there's also a third and a fourth expansion available for Gamja. I almost would like to see Gamja take all of these drones, send them to the fourth. They don't even need to be here for this.
Yeah, they really don't. They don't need to be witness to this carnage one way or another, right?
Yeah.
Save their innocent eyes. Shield their innocent eyes. Roaches have to bro now because of the overseer. Oh, man.
Oh, man. Is PandaBearMe making this work? Oh, too good fungal growth. He's going to lock down those Mutalisks.
Huge fungals right there.
And he's still got energy for another fungal or two. He's got to, again, be careful against these spine crawlers, but he gets all of his queens down the ramp, and there's not that many Mutalisks left over. Oh, my God. Gamja's down 25, 30 supply. Did PandaBearMe just do this?
Oh man, this is insane. This is the most insane all-in I've seen in a long time, and well, now these spine crawlers are moving in. Is this gonna be enough for Gamja to hold here? Because he's losing. He's down in the army supply right now.
Oh, there's a lot of spine crawlers to go through over here, though. This is gonna be rough, and the queens are so low on energy. They've used it all. They've tried to deal with the Mutalisk, and look at this, Gamja going for a counterattack, saying, okay, well, you can't have that much back at home. And he's actually right. This mineral line is very exposed. There's not a spore crawler in the natural expansion. There's one in the two in the main base, but there's nothing in the natural.
Yeah, and you know what? Even if there are spore crawlers, the Lings don't seem to care about that, so they're trying to do their best as these spine crawlers just hold off a little longer.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow. That is one hell of a comeback. I cannot believe what just happened.
Droopy, I prefaced my thoughts on that Nidus play with the infestors and the burrow and everything coming together at the same time as, you know, I don't know how much I like it, but PandaBearMe is a much better player than I am, so we'll see what he can make work. And goddamn did he make that work, Droopy. I am a disbeliever turned to a believer.
That was one hell of a strategy there from PandaBearMe. And you got to hand it to the guy. It's so easy to just be rattled after your all-in failed. and then you just kind of, start screwing up, start, missing injects or whatever, and just, you finish out the game in the loss that everyone assumed would be the conclusion. But I mean, he stuck with it, and that's some